folks, welcome to the channel. I'm Don, this is Rockin' the Country. I've got a gift request from Richard Hinman, and Richard requested Gene Clark's song, The True One. I don't think I've done anything by Gene Clark, certainly not recently. And Richard, let's see, you said Gene was an original member of the Byrds, and the timing of this is, that's just coincidental, but I've got it on my list to react to the Byrds song, Turn, 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 or review it for my Thinking Theology channel. So I'll get around to that in the next couple of days. But anyway, also the other song that you had requested, I need you to give me a different one and email me the request at rockinthecountry@gmail.com. It's in the information box below. I went through about half of it, but it's not quite right for the channel. Even though it was, let's see, Souther, Fure, and Hillman, not in that order, and they were Flying Burrito Brothers and the Byrds and other, big time Southern rock, but that was more rock than it was, so I got to kind of keep it true. So please forgive me for that. But if you give me a more in the pocket of like the non-pop country and certainly not rock, we're all on board. So anyway, let's see what Gene's got for us. The True One. I love doing artists that I don't think I'm familiar with.
Changes come so quickly, easily it can seem bizarre. They say there's a price you pay for going out too far. You can buy a one-way ticket out there all alone. And you can sit and wonder why it's so hard to get back home. Nothing is important, lost, that's not easy to believe. The longer you're in one place, the harder it is to leave.
Inertia.
You can have 1,000 cards to pull out of your sleeve, but in the end, the loser is the one who does deceive. There's always a reality in what you are doing.
All right, I'm feeling a 60s vibe from this song. Is that when this came out? The harmonies, the way they're put together, reminds me very much of like late 60s, not mid 60s, and not even early 70s. This has a late, maybe it came out in the 70s, but it sure sounds like a late 60s vibe.
Sometimes it's so hard to see which one is the true one.
That's true. Gonna bring a relationship into this probably.
I used to treat my friends like I was more than a millionaire, spending those big ones like I could afford them all upstairs. But what's been flying high must always touch the ground. Just walk upstairs and ask, you'll be likely directed down into
talk with someone. Oh, your friends will tell you. Usually. Long fade. Yeah. I like songs that make you think, but I mean, that's true. I mean, decision analysis is what I call it in my life coaching practice, but just trying to figure out what's right. Like, what took place, what has happened, what might happen, who am I, where am I? The idea of leaving, and it could be leaving a place or leaving a person. Which one is the true one? Which is the true idea, which is the true person, because they did use the word deceive. I couldn't make out all the lyrics in it, but I was kind of on the path of just, how do you know which one is right, which place is right, which person is right, which idea is right, the true one. And sometimes it's by committee. You ask people, you take the input from others, especially when you don't know how you're coming across, or all the things that you try to figure out in life, especially in regard to a relationship. If your life isn't working out well, you can ask your friends, maybe family members, if they're not overly critical. But it's that's just a challenge in life. That feedback is important, but even still, it's like at some point you got to make a decision. And the hard thing, the thing about decisions is when you make a decision, it isn't so much you're saying this is what I'm going to do, as much as you're saying these are the millions of other things I'm not going to do. And that's the challenge, because some of these other million things might be better than this one, and you don't know. But once you set your heart and at least part of your mind on another person or another place or on a decision, you go with it. And at that point, hopefully it's a good qualified decision. But life is lived by trial and error, as evidenced by the 50% divorce rate or breakups or whatever goes wrong. It's just, businesses go under. It's just a challenge to live life on planet Earth. Simple. So, Richard, you got me thinking on this one. And as far as the song goes, I'll rate the song, and the number that popped into my head was an 8.6 because it got me thinking. And it did have a Birds feel to it. And you could just tell. I mean, you can't get away from that kind of influence. And the Birds were the 60s, and I think, did they even go up to the mid-70s? I know they were part of my childhood. I just forget exactly which part. So there it is. And I'll be looking for the other song requests. But, whenever you get it to me, I'll get on top of that. So, all right, guys. You can thank Richard Hinman for that one. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video. Keep rocking the country.